Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you all doing great. Happy 2023. And today I want to know if you guys are clear about your New Year resolution and how is your New Year resolution is going on. So today, my topic is about gaslighting. I would like everyone to tell me if you guys have ever been gaslighted by someone, or are you the one who is gaslighting yourself? But before I get into this topic, because I have two of my dearest friends, Tri Dao, my monk friend, and also Amy are going to join me soon. So I started a couple of minutes earlier to get you rolling and check with you guys to see what are you guys doing. So number one, the question is, have you become clear, crystal clear about what is it that you're going to do in the year 2023? Is I can't believe that is what's the date today, is about 10 days past the year. And usually at the beginning of each year we are so excited about the new year, and we set up our new year resolutions, and there are so many things that we want to do. And on the contrary, guys, when new year resolution happen, what I notice with most people is that we kind of think that everyone else are on their mission. Everyone else have really figured out their life. They have their goals and they all achieving their goals. And we are the only one who is behind. So what I would like to bring to your attention right now is this. Don't care about what anybody else is doing. Your journey, it's only your journey and yours alone. So what's the use of you comparing yourself with other people and see what are they doing? It doesn't help you out, okay? So be aware that everyone else, it's not anywhere. Don't assume that, oh my god, everyone else has figured it out, life is so easy for them, they have their goals and they're so motivated and they're doing everything right except me. This is false. If you find yourself being here, get out of it, because it's not a good place to be. Okay. Number two, now tell me, write in the comments, have you really write down your New Year resolutions? What are they? Are you really crystal clear about this year? Have you write down how the last years, according to you, has failed? What happened the year 2022 and 21 and before that? Have you figured out what happened that you didn't really follow up with your New Year resolution? Where did it drop and why? I would like you guys to sit in this and figure out what is it, and be clear about where did your plan failed. Okay, my guests are here. Amy is here and Tri Dao. I love it that I have such an amazing guest that they're also show up before. Good morning, my lovely Tri Dao.
Sudi, how are you?
I loved you. Is it okay in the monk community that somebody is so expressive and keep telling you that how much They love you. Is that okay? In the
At this
month,
point, loves me.
what?
At this point, I really don't care who loves me. I just need a lot of love.
Oh, okay. So I love you a lot. Good morning, lovely Amy.
Hi, Amy.
What's up, you guys? How's it going?
These are my two favorite people. I love them and they're so sweet. So, how are you guys doing? How have you been?
Good. Everything's good. Yeah, everything's good. How about you guys?
I want to know about Tri Dao because I don't usually come a lot on social media, but every time I come, it happens that Tri Dao is there. He's bombarding Facebook. It's just
I
try,
love so.
huh?
We need that in the world. It's very funny. The last couple times I've gotten on Instagram too, it's populated with Tri Dao's information too. So or you're live or it's lovely. It's great. We
Yeah.
did it.
It's great to see him. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Tri Dao, tell us, how did you start your 2023? What's your goal and your mission for this year?
Well, a lot of changes. The book will not come to fruition. We've terminated the contract for the book because, I mean, if you think about it, it's a shock to the whole world. But if you really think about it, there is no way one man can do it all. He can't save the world and write a book at the same time.
Mhm.
And so, you know, there are other venerables out there that took years to write a book.
Yeah.
This should have been thicker in volume than what I projected it in the beginning. So it would have not have done it justice with what I started and so. Anyways, this year I think I'm gonna do a lot of traveling, and I have partnered with the Trova trip.
Yeah.
So that is to come. I think I just need a break after 8 years of serving the public. I need a break. I need to meet new people.
Wow.
I need the country or outside the country, and it's refreshing. So it's a lot of changes this year coming up.
Yeah.
In programs, I'm still putting it together in my head to make such a difference coming up in the next couple of days. Actually.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amy, how about you?
As far as the new year is concerned?
Yes, Lovey. Mm-hmm.
This new year, my resolution is to just mind my own business. I find myself...
That's tough, Amy. That's hard.
I find myself in relationships, just with friends, with family, whatever, always wanting to coach and mentor and help and step in. And it's like, I realize that, and it's so liberating for me. It's like everyone's on their own path. And for me to trust that everyone in my life has been given all the tools that they need to do what it is that they want to empower themselves to do, it just has taken such a burden off of me thinking that I need to manage and fix and give this person that insight. And this person might need a reading and I'm going to do, it just is just, I trust that everyone in my life has the tools that they need to be happy and joyful and successful. And that's been the core foundation of me minding my own business, is me trusting in other people's paths. And I don't need to do anything. And it's been really liberating for me. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's dive into our topic today about gaslighting. And I find out that there are two ways: either we are being gaslighted by someone else, or we are doing it to ourselves as a form of self-sabotage. So I kind of thought about this since I chose this topic, and I thought, I don't think other people are gaslighting me, but I came to this conclusion that I at times gaslight myself. When I listen to that critical voice in my head, I'm never good enough, it's never good enough, it's like, so I do that to myself. So I want to hear your side of view. And if you guys want to share your personal experience, on where or how you felt that you're doing it to yourself or someone else is doing it to you? Who wants to start? Try though. I know you looked up, so it's you want to. I know him so well that I can just look at Trido and I read his mind. I can even follow up his thinking. So go ahead, Trido. We lost your voice. You lost your voice.
I was asking Amy, and I was gonna say, Amy, you go. Ladies always go first, but
oh, come on, Trido. Shoot.
So, yeah, we live in a world that, not everyone have a perfect history in regards to family, their upbringings, the way how they got into this world, and the way how the world has conditioned them. The root cause. It makes people bitter. It makes people sad. It makes people depressed. It makes people turn on each other. They perceive the world as unfair to them. Therefore, it's like the savage life chose me. So therefore, I'm going to choose the savage life. And the gaslighting thing, amongst one of many psychological tactics to manipulate another human being out of self-greed to serve one's own interests. It's a very devastating thing. It's a very traumatic thing. It leaves an impact on a person's life for years to come in the healing process of therapy and talking to coaches and, just the healing process in itself. Not to mention that in my own romantic life back in the day, I did not exempt from this. I did not exempt from being gaslighted and gaslighting other people, but on a very light scale, not like, like dark, like kind of deal. But so there is intensities and degrees when it comes to the, just the magnitude and depth of such psychological tactics. And people have gone great lengths to really getting what they want the other person to do, and how they do it is what gives rise to darkness in one's heart. The Buddha taught us, it is what it is and it can't be what it ain't, darling. And so, in society, we have really twisted a lot of things up in our head. And it does not help now with social media winning. What the wrong use, the improper use, the unwise use, the unskillful use of social media is winning. It is entertainment over education versus education over entertainment. And with the existence of social media, how it penetrates the mind of the young to think otherwise, to sexualize women as sexual objects, to sexualize men as sexual objects, to not have respect for human dignity, decency, to compound racism, to compound hatred, violence in the world. And of course, it bleeds into their own personal relationships, romantic relationships, feeling the need to control another person because they are missing components. What they cannot find out there, they will try to control back at home. What they cannot fulfill out there, they will try to get it at home. From people that is closest to them, any relationships, not just romantic relationships. So in Buddhism, we try to uncomplicate your life by literally getting you to step back a little bit, be non-attached, and just seeing things as they are. And people are who they are. And we feel the need for so long and for so much to change who they are when it cannot be. It constitutes desire, and desire causes suffering. I want her to be this way. Listen to me. I want her to do things a certain way. And of course, the female will also say, well, I want him to put the toilet seat down. I want him to put the toilet seat up. I want him to put the shoes outside. I want him to start doing the dishes more. And, so the more difficult a human is to us as we cohabitate and live with them, the more skillful we have to be in trying to persuade them ethically and morally, and not use, if you don't do the dishes, I'm going to stop giving you allowance. I'm going to stop paying your insurance, and using financial weight and power, using sexual weight and power, using physical, psychological weight and power to overpower the other person to get them to do what we want. That's obviously unethical. That's obviously immoral. And the Buddha and Jesus Christ would shake their head at you. So I have find that first and foremost, calming ourselves, the art of calming ourselves, calmness in the midst of things happening, trying to see things objectively versus subjectively, is the first thing in trying to address another human who is frustrating us. The physiology of our minds and our emotions is very intense. As soon as someone does something that we don't like or don't want them to do, the first reaction is anger, the breathing. We've lost control. You've lost control of your breathing. You've lost control of your emotions. Nothing good happens thereafter. Mm-hmm. You can't keep your calm. And then the art of persuading them becomes more difficult because there's lack of actual control, lack of control of within oneself, lack of control because of self-restraint. It is exactly Buddhism that teaches self-restraint. So this is something that I want everyone who is listening to really step back and look at me, look at you, the spirituality is knowing you, and how you deal with problems in your life, and how do you deal with humans in your life, and how much controlling you were, or how much controlling that you are. And mind you, I don't exempt that. I mean, people think that I'm a monk, he's never loved before, he's never gotten laid before. Oh, trust me, I have loved before, and I haven't got laid before, and I have been controlling, I've had anger. I mean, that's why I became a monk, to change myself. I didn't sit back and counted $100 bills and on a Ferrari and life would whip. Hey, I'm gonna go find a tree and sit underneath it. So I hope to inspire other people through my own change and transformation, because I wasn't good at loving, and I dedicated my life to studying how to love. That was the first at Ecker College, studying mental therapy. And essentially that is learning how to love, learning how to talk to people, learning how to accept them for who they are. And when we talk about gaslighting, we talk about power, strength, power, and beauty. You can have all three of them. And the Buddha says that when you have power over people, and y'all know y'all do, all of y'all, because a lot of us have power over people who are weaker than we are. Yeah. People who have power, financial powers, physical powers, sexual powers, emotional powers. The Buddha says if you have power over people, then to be gentle with them. Mm-hmm. And that the beauty comes in. Is that I met these two police officers, and one of them was extremely high ranking. And his wife was a detective. And the way how they look at each other, mind you, both of these individuals have a tremendous amount of power. Not just police powers, but power as a man and power as a woman. And given his rank, which I've chosen not to disclose, I was like, oh my God, you have meetings with the brass. You have meetings, you are within the bars and stars. But something strikes me as what a gentle man, literally a gentle man. Mm. The true definition of a gentle man. Mm. And I really that fact. Mind you, this guy is huge, physically huge, on top of the police powers and on top of the power of a man that he already has granted to him constitutionally. He has the constitutional power to take a life, to fire people, to hire people, to pull all sorts of political strings. But when I sat there and analyzed them, I realized that this man had tremendous amount of beauty as just the heart that he is. So, I mean, I've met a lot of people in my life. I've met judges, I've worked with judges before, who again have tremendous amount of power. and I don't see them exercising that power with their partner. To know how to recalibrate your life, recalibrate your need, want, looking at the Maslow hierarchy of need psychology, and knowing how to have fun with your partner and just enjoy life so short. Why spend half your life? Why spend majority of your life with people and then you become an enemy, and then you create enemies, sleeping with one eye open? No matter who you sleep with, at the end of the day, you're alone with your thoughts, and you know what you did, and you know what you did to people. How could you go to sleep at night knowing that you've used someone? It's just using them the way that the games that you've been playing. How do you feel good about that? How do you answer to God about that? How would you justify that in front of the Buddha? That this is what you did. This is what you actually did. This is what you're doing behind closed doors.
Got it. Amy, back to you.
Yes.
Have you been gaslighted before, or are you the one who's gaslighting other people?
Well, so this is really interesting, this topic, and I actually almost canceled coming on this live because it's something that I really haven't talked about on my platform. And also, I want to say thank you for defining the terms of gaslighting, and thank you for all of that insight and that input, because I think it's also really important to recognize some of us come from that, and some of us come from very young, very formative ages, and that parental gaslighting can create situations where you're essentially stripped of a self, and you're stripped of an identity, and the only thing that you're bouncing up against is what that person says that you are, or what that person says that you're not, when that happens in our formative years. And so I think coming from that and then operating in the world with that loss of a sense of self, or waiting for people to inform you about how good you are, or how bad you are, or how crazy you are, or how whatever, you're really and truly setting yourself up, which I did, to repeat that pattern, right? And so I was writing down a couple things here that I wanted to, So that nature of being stripped of oneself and the identity at such a formative age, of course, creates situations later in life, which you get into those situations, which of course I did. And so I have been both raised with someone who was a fairly violent gaslighting alcoholic, and so I did that. And then I actually was fortunate enough to repeat that pattern in my later life. And by that, I mean, I would not have known otherwise had that not happened to me, had I not been gaslit through an adult relationship, which was also tremendously dark and terrifying. But I think that it was something that I needed to learn so I could differentiate, if you will. But one of the things I think that is really so painful about gaslighting, and of course, anyone who's on this live, if you're watching this and if you're in this situation, trying to prove to somebody that you're not a liar or that you're not the one manipulating the situation, that you're not a liar, that you're not, whatever it is that you're fighting against, has to be one of the most destructive, and the thing that goes against the essence of our human life, right? We are meant to be, we are meant to exist. We have a right to all of those things. And if you have to fight to prove to somebody that you're something or that you're not something, that is the first red flag to exit and to be done with that relationship. But it's such a manipulative process. There's so much strategy involved. There's so much, just like I said, stripping down of the spirit, stripping down of the self, that happens in gaslighting relationships, that you really have to be careful that you don't completely and totally lose yourself, But it's tough. And I mean, I like I said, I'm grateful for the lessons in my adult life, but I mean, I don't know, from the Buddhist perspective, I sometimes wonder why I was born into this karma. Just having all of this. But anyway, that's kind of my take on gaslighting. I don't know if that is useful or helpful, but that's
of course, anything,
my
yeah,
story.
anything is useful and helpful. I think the number one concern that I have with gaslighting is the knowing of it, because a lot of people are being gaslighted, but they don't recognize it as such. So what I mean by I am concerned about it is that so many people are being gaslighted. They are in a relationship with a narcissist, and they're not aware of it. They're in a stage that they constantly doubting themselves, like for instance, when you go to a narcissist and you come up with your concerns, and especially is in the emotional part, that when you finally get the courage to go to a narcissist and tell them that what you did made me feel so and so, or that this is how I feel, a narcissist gaslighted you back by not only making you wrong, by twisting the situation, that what have I done wrong? There's this term like, what have I done wrong? You never appreciate me. Is like, and then they play the victim and they turn the situation all the way around, that, oh my God, I am the one who's being hurt. And this is the part that I'm trying to tell everyone, to be more mindful of what is going on, because it's very easy to get into that trap, that not only start doubting yourself, that is he right or not, because the narcissists are pretty good at, that they're like expert in this. And it's very important for me to be aware at the moment, what is going on here. My feelings, every time I come to express my feeling, my feeling not only being not heard, but I'm being also accused that I am the one. So eventually I learn being expressive, especially talking about my feeling, is going to cause more arguments. And I'm going to get more, and I'm going to be more wrong, and I'm going to get deeper into this argument or whatever it is that's going on here. So what I'm trying to tell everyone, you have to separate yourself constantly from this person or from this situation, and be aware that why every time I talk to this person, it happens to be that I end up being the one who's wrong. Maybe if it happens the first time or the second time or the third time, you just sit back and you said, okay, let me see his view, let me see his lens, maybe he's right. But if it's constantly repeating itself, then you got to get ding dong, something is really off here, that I'm constantly be the one who made the mistake or being wrong. And it's so important, because once we get dragged into this argument, it's so hard to constantly be aware that you don't have to be fighting constantly. You don't have to fight constantly proving to this person that you are not at fault or you are not the one who's wrong. And your energy gets so drained out, when you're dealing in this situation, that you constantly have to say, no, I didn't make a mistake. It's my right to express myself when I see something wrong, or when it's something wrong in a relationship. It's my right to talk about it, and it's not right to get shut down. And when is it that finally that clicks happen and I get it? Maybe this relationship is toxic, or maybe now is the time to put an end to this gaslighting.
And I think too, one thing that is just so important, and I think this feels like it's something that's basic. Relationships should not be anxiety producing, right? You shouldn't be constantly anxious in a relationship. And I think that there's so much information in our nervous system when we're close to people, or when we're intimate with people, or when we're connected with people. And when, you know, I think that you have, like, for a long time, I didn't understand that from somebody who has not only a history of childhood abuse, but then also in my adult life, I didn't really understand that wasn't a normal thing, like being anxious all the time in relationships, and me doing my own controlling things, you know, and potentially me also taking responsibility for maybe gaslighting people also. But I mean, I think that there's a tremendous amount of information that your body being on high, like there's information in the nervous system, being on high alert, all of those things are not normal in relationships. And I think if you get to that point, then, I mean, and that's actually, you know, that's where I started drinking, right? So on top of the narcissistic and gaslighting relationships, my anxiety, I'm drinking a bottle of wine a night because I'm so anxious about the text message or the call, and So it unraveled quite a few problems for me. But I mean, you've got to just be so careful about people show you who they are. When they show you who they are, believe them, right? Mm-hmm. And you can't change people, and mind your own business and trust that, it is just such a rabbit hole.
Amber, thank you for writing comment. Does one of you guys want to respond to Amber's comment? I just pinned it. Can you even read it? A narcissist cannot see or meet you. Do you guys see Amber's comment?
Yeah.
Can you read it out, Amy?
Yeah, so it says a narcissist cannot see or meet you where you are. It's a vicious cycle attempting to work with them. Cutting ties and setting strong boundaries is really the only way. You cannot change them. And I totally agree with that. And eventually that was the point, the part that I got to in this relationship that I was in. But yeah, there's no negotiating with a narcissist. And a narcissist, their only intent is that the universe revolves around them and what they need. And so I would totally agree with that. And cutting ties is the only way. I would absolutely say that. And also some red flags and triggers we don't need to go into. I think that's another thing that people are like, oh, well, I must have to heal this because it's triggering something in me that needs to be healed. It's like, well, maybe, but also some red flags that you are just meant to walk away from and to cut ties with. So yeah, I think that's also that's true, Amber. Thank you for that comment.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into some solutions. Tri Dao, do you have any solutions? Like when you realize you were gaslighting, what worked for you?
If we have background noise, let me know because they're drilling over this wall somewhere over there. But
we're good for now. Yeah.
Solutions would include, number one, recognize all of this unfolding examples of it. Today's talk may not be comprehensive for everyone, so therefore you're going to need additional research online and YouTube, other professionals to tell you if it fits the criteria of where you are in life. And once you have identified the yellow flag, orange flags, and red flags,
add purple to it too.
The Buddha would assert that whatever is costing you peace, got to go. It's got to go.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes, sometimes we try to cling on because they are, what is the thing I used to say a long time ago, like too good, too bad to leave, too good to stay, or something like that. And sometimes I really cling on to, what if I can't find another person like that? What if, they leave me, or how am I going to survive on my own? All of the additional self-doubts. But, it's not good. It's not good for your health psychologically. It's not good for your health physically. And return back to yourself. Obviously, you got yourself into this mess because you didn't understand you. you didn't have any spirituality in you. And because if I'm dating somebody and they're telling me I'm a loser, I'm not good enough, you know, a piece of trash, this earth, blah, 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 I'm a scumbag. I mean, you name it. You name all of the mean things that people say and use. Now, when you know who you are, where you've been, where you're at today, where you're going and who you want to go with, and what they're telling you, and you realize it's not true, it doesn't affect you. It's like, it was literally like what? Really? You know, when you know that you have given more and taken less, you know that you are a good person, you know that you've contributed to society, that you best, and you have used the best available science to try to make this thing work, but it couldn't. So an intelligent person, you know, exercise your intelligence above all when deciding when to stay, when to leave, concluding it, when to leave. That means when it's safe to leave, whether you need to consult with your friends, family, or people that it's left, so on. You know, it's and to say no. You know, I'm just gonna do me, and I don't care what other people say. You know, the stuff in our head, the ego mind, and what Sudi would say, and higher self is what Sudi would say, which is your intelligence is what I assert. Exercising your supreme intelligence and consciousness in discerning what is good, what is not good, and you know, when you return back to yourself, you make yourself more bulletproof for the next relationship to come. Mm-hmm. People can be wonderful and beautiful and a lifetime of memories till death do us part. But people can also be dangerous, supremely dangerous and manipulative. This Italian girl gaslighted the crap out of me, and she gave me all these lies, and I overlooked all of these lies. She told me she was a doctor, and I'm like, well, where's your certificate? Oh, it got lost in the mail. Do you have any graduation pictures? No, my ex destroyed my external hard drive. She was so good at manipulating me. This was before becoming a monk. I have never seen anything like it. I have never seen the exercising of intelligence like it. Therefore, it's sad because had she channeled her intelligence for the right reasons, at the right path, with the right people, then it would have bloomed like wildflowers. Mm-hmm. Because you see, people want to go that route. The people don't want to go the good route because it takes effort and it's easier to control. It's easier to inflict psychological harm and inflict psychological control because it's easy. Yeah, it's easy to talk crap things and call names and you're not good enough and do this and do this and do this. But it takes skills and it takes effort and it takes intelligence to really cultivate a fulfilling life with a partner, truly understanding what love means, truly understand what it means to share a life with another, truly a partner of a lifetime. So, you know, my position in this is, again, return back to yourself, sit, meditate, reflect on your life, look at all of your mistakes so that you prevent further mistakes down the road, and look at how costly it has costed you. It costed you emotional trauma. It costed you, your body is your temple. It has costed you time, energy, and money and resources. And it's like, how many more of that do you want to engage in? Like, I fell in love approximately 7 times in my life. Oh my God. Really? With 60% of them serious commitments. And then my back started to ache and I realized that I can't play this game anymore. I can't play this game and they can't play this game with me anymore. It's just because it's tiring. Just the amount of money for the dates, for the dinner, for the movies. You know, you need money to go out and have fun, you know. And the time and sitting there and gathering information, history about each other to establish rapport, to establish history, trust. It just takes years to get to really know someone. that I am secure in the knowledge that you are the one. You are the one and only one. Therefore, I want to marry you. And if you wanted to get really deep with it, and you could say, you know what? I have never had a girl like you in my life. I've never had the things that you've done for me and to me in my life, that you are in fact good for me and good to me. And I think that I can spend the remaining balance of my natural living life with you happily. I mean, just look at how we wake up and look at each other. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Versus, I've known couples, Sudi, I've seen couples that fight 90% of the day. Like, what is the point of living if you're fighting 90% of the day?
That's where the juice is at. What, Amy? I'm sorry.
I also want to say too that at the end of the day, it's two people trying to get their needs met, right? I think that there could potentially be responsibility on both sides about the way one person gets their, like the way a narcissist get their needs met is just that. They're just trying to get their needs met, as much as the person who is engaging with the narcissist is also trying to get a set of subconscious needs met. And so I want to piggyback on that understanding and knowing yourself and meditating, and what are your shadow strategies that you employ to get your needs met in a relationship, right? Because I think there's a lot of work to do in our culture around, I don't know, I mean, you could just see it all over TikTok. It's like, well, I was the giver and they were the taker, but what was the benefit in you giving? What was the benefit in you over giving? Like, you also are getting needs met by doing that, as much as that other person is getting their needs met. So I think there also is some co-responsibility here. And I feel like, I had my responsibility in how bad I let it get. And what saved me was coming to terms with my own responsibility in the way that I allowed somebody to treat me, and why I allowed somebody to treat me so bad. And I had to forgive myself and come to terms with that. And that's when I was able to let the whole situation go. But I also think if we want to just demonize narcissists, I don't think that that's a way out. I think the way out is through understanding our own motives, our own subconscious drives, the value that we get in continuing in these relationships, and what it is we're striving for. I think that is also a really critical aspect of this. So yeah, that's when you were talking about meditating, that's what I was really thinking about. Is like, the way out for me wasn't blame. The way out for me was taking some really deep responsibility for my own patterns, and my own self-worth and my own agency and all of it,
Well, I believe we are constantly playing roles here, and this is just for us to learn our lessons. And at some point, I might play the narcissist. And that's not constant, right? I can play a narcissist in order for you to learn and come to your awareness that, why am I a victim? Because narcissists also always look for victim. That's why narcissists always keep in touch with the exes, because they are so sharp that they think, let me still hold on to my exes just in case, if I didn't find another victim who put up with all my BSs all this long. So keep in mind, sometimes in life, if you see your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend keeps contacting you every once in a while, they just want to make sure that they have you on the side, just in case if they ran out, for God's sake, to catch another victim. But basically, we're playing all these roles. If I play this role as a narcissist right now, it's for you to come to yourself. It's actually for your teaching, that you come to understanding that, maybe every time I come and I say, I did this good thing for someone, if you're really aware, you pay attention when you come to a narcissist and you tell them that you're doing this good thing for a friend or for a community, a narcissist will get really pissed off and it hits you really hard. Why? Because a narcissist said everything and all attention has to come to me. All the favors has to come to me. So they're going to hit you so hard, but it really takes us to be conscious to realize why is he so upset? And why is he saying, no, you didn't do that person a favor? And why are they beating you up? Don't get fooled by that. Don't continue. Don't let them get you engaged again into this toxicity. Don't try to defend yourself. Don't try to tell them. A narcissist is a narcissist. The only thing you can do is to come to yourself and say, I know that this person, whoever it is, whether it's my mom, my dad, or whatever, is playing this role for me to realize that I am the one who's playing the victim. Thank you so much. And then, right? And I get myself out of the situation.
Yes.
But like Tri Dao said, there are things that we say, set your boundaries, but these are not really easy thing to hold on to. We all know what's the right thing. But then again, as soon as we get that invitation as come on in, we get to this. I did a series of relationship with Tri Dao. And I said, the minute your hormones are out of whack and all this serotonin and dopamine is coming, be careful. That's the invitation for you to,
it's an addiction.
To come
it's
in.
An addiction.
Yeah, but is the invitation to come in. It's the class. So be very careful about what's going on. Anyway, let's get back to Amy. Amy, love, we have a few minutes to close this live. So what would be your solution? What would be your advice for gaslighters and the one who are being gaslighted?
I don't know, because it's just so complex. I think you've got to really listen to your body. Listen to your body.
Good point.
What your body is saying, and drop into that. If something is anxious, relationships should not be confusing. They should not be anxiety producing. Things should be clear. The boundaries should be clear. I think what it comes down to really is understanding what you value in relationships and what you're willing to do and what you're willing to not do, and really taking responsibility for that. And not, I don't necessarily believe in like the benefit of the doubt. I think that doubt, that there might be doubt or question instilled for a reason. And I think, I don't know, I just feel like people need to listen to themselves. That's really, there's actually no advice that I can give in foresight for anybody. It's something that we experience, and it feels quite unstoppable. And so I feel like listening to your body would be a key tenet for me, and that's probably all I have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're having to fight to show somebody who you are, or to prove to somebody something, that's a very twisted dynamic.
Great point.
Run from that. You need to run from that. So yeah.
Another great point, Amy. Yes. So we're going to end this live, and I am so grateful for you two, Tri Dao and Amy, to join me. Next week, I thought about I'm going to do a series of law of attraction. So if you guys want to join me for next week, I would love that. But I thought, law of attraction is really amazing thing when it works but I think there are a lot of missing points on law of attraction and why, and it's very confusing. So a lot of people are practicing law of attraction, and a lot of people are saying that what happened? I did all this thing, but so I would like to start next week by finding the missing link. Why we're not. Go ahead, Amy. What, love?
Oh, I said, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So we're gonna go, and I don't know if you guys want to join me too. I thought we're gonna follow it up by 21-day challenge. So each day we're gonna introduce one thing, and the next day we're gonna add the second one. Like one day is journaling, the other day is, having a vision board and that stuff. So I would love for you guys, if you guys also want, that we just merge together and all of us go through this 21 days and get more and more people to engage. Because I believe if we really get the point what the law of attraction is and be really able to use the tools, it just doesn't help me, but it helps the whole humanity. We can all be a better creator, therefore make it much, much better. Oh, something just came to me. I gotta tell Tri Dao this. I did a reel couple of days ago about the religion Zoroastrians. Persian, Iranians were Zoroastrians, and my grandparents were Zoroastrians. I didn't get a lot of teaching, but it was really interesting because every once in a while when I came on Facebook, I saw, what's the name of the actor, guys? I can't remember. What's his name, guys? The one who was constantly posting this. There's this famous actor, they're gonna tell me, and I keep seeing this, reposting this about Zarathustra. And it says, well, we finally come to the point to really look at Zoroastrian's religion. He never claimed that he had a conversation with God. And I know this is a little contrary to other religion, but number one, he never claimed that he had a conversation with God. He never claimed or sold the heaven. He never told us there was another place much better than here, so basically the teaching of Zoroastrian was learn to know the truth and live the truth. He believed heaven was right here on planet Earth, and we are all responsible to make it better every single day for other humans. And basically, he said, whatever comes out of your mouth has to come from a heart place, from love, understanding. Every thoughts that you have has to come from a good place with good intention. And all of your deeds and your acts has also come from that. So this is basically the teaching of Zoroastrians. Yes. So I thought, since our monk is here, I just want to, because I'm in this competition. If you guys didn't get it with Tri Dao till now, and I thought I should, because he's constantly talking about Buddhism and Buddha, and I said I have to come with Zoroastrians and also add this. So anyway,
I
so
like that idea.
go, yeah.
Having here on earth, and is exactly what the Buddha also assert the same. We either make our own heaven or hell right here, right up here. And so we can also bring the peace, joy, laughter, and acceptance and compassion and deep understanding to other people, where once this thing is straight, everything else that will follow after that is going to be beautiful. And if this thing is not restrained, attended to, disciplined, then you guarantee no matter who you're sleeping with, you're alone with that dark thoughts every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Moral also
Thank you so much.
So love and peace.
New Mexico. Mexico, you have to let me know if you're in your travels.
I will take the into back.
So come on out.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Where are you again, Amy?
I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Okay. Already. We keep in touch. Love
Okay,
you.
see you later. Bye,
Mwah.
guys.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. See you guys next week. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Bye-bye, everyone. Love, love, love.